Hello, and welcome to my channel, Wanderlusting Lawyer. Some of you might be coming to the channel for the first time. Typically, I post videos that talk about products and experiences associated with the Camino de Santiago in Spain, but today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a purification weight loss program I've been doing for the past 7 days. When I was deciding whether to do this program, I was terrified. I did not think I'd be able to do it, and the videos I saw on YouTube were incredibly helpful and really convinced me to give it a go. So I figured, since I'm having such a great experience, I would make my own video, and I hope this helps you guys who are considering whether to do this, including maybe some of you who've come here from seeing my Camino videos who may want to shed 10, 15 pounds, maybe 5 pounds before the Camino starts, just to feel a little more physically fit for the journey. So what I am doing, it's called the Standard Process 21-Day Purification Program. Just a little background about me. I'm a full-time attorney, and I'm usually pretty good about making time to work out 3 or 4 times a week. But my diet choices have been pretty poor since I went back to working full-time after finishing my Camino and my international travels this summer. And really the culmination for why I reached out to a local nutritionist where I live is one Christmas, and then after that I was gone for almost an entire month in Miami for a trial. And when you're at trial, a lot of times your meals are brought in, there are snacks, you're eating out at restaurants, and so I gained several pounds before I even knew what happened, and I just wasn't feeling that great. I was feeling pretty tired all the time, drinking more coffee than I wanted to be drinking, not having great sleep quality. I was feeling really stressed. So though I initially only went in to, speak to this nutritionist about putting together some type of an eating plan, she suggested I might be a really good fit for this program because it addresses a lot of those issues I just raised, not just about weight loss and making better food choices. So I guess if you want the too long didn't watch version, let me tell you this: it is Saturday. I woke up at 6:45 a.m. this morning, unprompted, and that's pretty much unheard of for myself. So would I recommend this program? Absolutely yes, go do it. Okay, now if you want to learn more, I'll tell you a little bit more about the program. So what it is basically, it's a 21-day program, as you might guess from the name, and it's basically a pretty restricted diet that consists of all of the vegetables you want. It'll give you a list. You should always have 2 servings of vegetables to every one of fruits, so you can have a lot of different fruits. Quinoa is allowed, lentils are allowed, coconut flour, butter, things like that. So I was nervous because I've never been a vegetarian. I like meat, and I like to cook, but I really am not as good at cooking with vegetables. Sorry, they're doing work on the apartment upstairs if you hear some thumps and bumps. But yeah, so basically what you do is there are a couple different containers with powders. This is one of those shake eating plans, or shake drinking plans rather. This one's a protein powder. I work out a lot, pretty hardcore at a gym called Orange Theory, so I wanted to make sure my protein intake was staying up. This is a fiber powder, and then there are a couple different supplements, some that you're required to take, and then others that my nutritionist recommended for my specific questionnaire that I filled out. This is magnesium, and then this is like an adrenal health one. So what I do is, in the morning I make a pitcher of shakes. That should be enough for 2 for when I go to work, or if it's the weekend, I'll just make 1. And basically you're going to be having 2 to 3 shakes per day, depending on what your nutritionist or I've seen a lot of chiropractors that do these, so you might be working with a chiropractor. I'll make a shake. I usually put in half a cup of coconut milk, ice, water, the powders, a little bit of cinnamon, and usually a cup of fresh fruits and a cup of spinach. So that way, at least I'm staying, it's supposed to be a 2-to-1 ratio, but I get a lot more vegetables later in the day, so at least I'm not overdoing it with my fruits early on. I'm gonna be real with you guys. So it's not as good as a smoothie you'd make with, Greek yogurt and none of the protein powder. It's definitely grittier. If you've had protein bars or protein powder, there's that taste. It's protein, but it's definitely drinkable. It definitely, for a breakfast or a late afternoon snack, which is when I have my second one, it's certainly, you shouldn't have any problems finding this at least a decently enjoyable thing to drink, especially when you're hungry. So those are the shakes, and then the rest of the day, is filled with those other foods I told you guys about. Typically, my eating plan will be the shake in the morning I try to wait until I get to work, get settled, get working for a little bit, and then around 9:15 or so, I'll have my first shake, try to make it last maybe about 20 minutes. And then probably around 11 a.m. I have a snack, so it could be an apple. My girlfriend's a vegetarian, and she is a really good cook, so she also has been making me some different stuff using flax seeds and the coconut flour you're allowed to have, so little bread-like rounds or little coconut flour muffins. It takes a little getting used to the taste. I don't like coconut, so this is a little tougher for me. I wish it could be almond flour, but I guess nuts are one of the most common allergens, which is what causes reactions that hurt our bodies and our digestive system. So I'll have a snack then, and then around 1 o'clock I will eat my lunch. It's usually a bunch of different vegetable things or soups. The other day I had zucchini boats filled with black lentils, and had veggie burgers, I had ratatouille, so lots of good options. And then a shake again, probably around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that ties me over until dinner, which is a bunch more veggies and then usually some type of dessert. And on the weekends we'll do a little appetizer hour of our own, and we'll do guacamole and sweet potato chips, maybe baby carrots, roasted bell peppers, and those are lifesavers. So if you like guacamole, you'll be happy with this eating plan. So let me talk to you a little bit about my experience doing this. Like I mentioned before, I was pretty terrified before I started. I was already defeating myself, saying there's no way I can do something like this. Oh, I forgot to mention something important, probably because I'm not there yet. I am only 7 days into this eating program so far. On day 10, you can add back lean protein and lean meat into the plan. So I'm very excited. That's going to be, today's Saturday, that's going to be Tuesday. I'm very ready for that. But so I was nervous about it because I've just, like I said, not ever been a vegetarian. I don't do a lot of creative cooking with vegetables, but I do like most vegetables. But then I watched videos that people had posted on YouTube, and everyone's response was overwhelmingly positive. Not just about the weight loss, but more so about the changes they saw in their mood, in their energy. And so I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. I really think I can do this. And I'm so happy I did. Now, day 1 and day 2, I would say were probably the hardest, and I would definitely recommend, if you can, to start on a Saturday, because I drink caffeine in the morning, every morning, but I don't drink throughout the day, and I don't know if it was a caffeine headache or not, but the first 2 days, I had a headache off and on. It wasn't the whole day, but I don't get headaches often, so it was definitely something I noticed. I felt like I had a little bit of chills too, but those were really the only side effects I had, apart from imagining delicious cheeseburgers, pizza, chocolate, anything you can name. I was thinking about it. Probably didn't help that the day before I started, I had a cheeseburger and fries, and then that's what I was dreaming about Saturday, thinking there's no way I can not indulge in those things for 21 days. But then already by day 2, especially by day 3, and by now on day 7, I rarely am having food cravings. And I used to be somebody that was just, I mean, I generally ate pretty healthy, but then I would allow myself just to eat too much and just to have too many snacks. Like someone bringing donuts to the office, oh yeah, I'm having one. Yesterday someone brought in pizza, and it was really tough not to have a slice, but I'm just a snacker. I would keep snacks in my, in one of my drawers at work. So this has really eliminated that behavior. Maybe after eating lunch I'll want a chocolate or something like that, but I have found it significantly easier, especially after day 2, than I thought it was going to be. And I mean, I was hoping that I would feel the same way about this that I did when I really got back into exercise. Taking it from somewhere where it just became about weight loss, which then once it doesn't work how you want it to work, you give up, to really giving myself the time to see how it could be good for my overall well-being. And it's definitely that and more. I mean, I've been sleeping great. I've been making sure I get 8 hours because you cannot have caffeine or alcohol. So I didn't want to be tired at work. But let me tell you, I've never been more awake at work probably in my life than I have this past week. I rarely am feeling sleepy. I, have a decaf tea in the morning if I want to recreate that coffee flavor, but I have so much energy. My alarm goes off in the morning, and instead of snoozing it 5 times like I used to and still being tired, it goes off once and I'm awake. I'm ready for the day. I haven't seen my workouts suffer at all. I'm getting enough protein from the shakes, and I think that'll get even better once I can add, lean meats back into the plan. And so it's not even just about energy. I don't know if it's the extra supplements. I know this adrenal supplement, one of the tablets, is meant to help maintain emotional balance. I gotta tell you guys, I feel so much less stressed. I have really none of the anxieties that I've had for the past several years. I just feel positive. I feel like I can handle stressful situations a lot better. I know it sounds like a bunch of baloney, but I feel really great. It's probably a good time to mention I am in no way affiliated with this company. I don't get any money from them. I'm doing this, like I said, just because the videos I saw super helped me, and I want to help you guys. So the other big reason that I decided to do this is because I felt like my digestion wasn't as healthy as I wanted it to be. I was starting to get heartburn a lot more than I ever had, and just some stomach issues I wasn't happy with, and this has really, really settled everything down. And it's not, one of my fears was, oh no, when I'm at work, is this one of those plans where I'm going to be running to the restroom every 20 minutes? No, it's not like that. It really calms down your whole system, and it's really been amazing to see the effects that that's had in as little as 7 days. So I guess some just little tips and tricks I have for those of you guys who are going to do this, and I'll be giving many more of those. I'm going to do more videos after 2 weeks, and then after I finish. Tips and tricks, I would say make sure you buy some like little blender cups on Amazon that have the little wire balls in them, so that way you can just, when you shake up your shake, any of the protein or whatever that has settled, it'll get remixed well. I would say I did not think I was a sweet potato chip person. I much prefer regular potatoes, but sweet potato chips have been my absolute savior. If you don't have one, buy a mandolin slicer, it's called, and you basically hold it and you run a vegetable or a fruit across it, and it'll create perfect slices. You do that, it takes a minute, throw them in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and salt, and with guacamole, like I said, it's a life changer for this diet. You can do some pan-fried, for a dessert, you can do some pan-fried cinnamon, bananas or apples, a little butter, a little honey. I don't know if honey's technically allowed, but a little drizzle on there as long as it's organic. decaf tea, like I said, and then something that's really worked well for me is anything with lentils. I find that the black lentils are my favorite. They make me think of black beans. You can make some little kind of veggie burgers or galettes, whatever you want to call them. Those make an excellent lunch, especially if you mix them, or if you buy a head of iceberg lettuce. You can almost convince yourself you're eating a burger. So I'll have more advice for you guys soon. If you're thinking about trying this plan, I mean, it's pretty expensive. I think with all my additional supplements, I think it was a little over $300, maybe $350, something like that. But I see this as being the first step to changing my entire life when it comes to how I eat and how I treat my digestive system and my whole body. So, and last but not least, I'm sure you're wondering my results. I didn't measure myself or anything like that. For reference, I'm 5'8". And I will at the end tell you where I started and where I finished, but for now I'll just tell you that in 1 week I've lost 5 pounds. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not super heavy to begin with, so my goal from the beginning was to lose 10 pounds. That's about what I put on between Christmas and the trial that I mentioned. So that's my goal. I figure I have 2 weeks to lose 5 more pounds, and anything over that is just an added bonus. So again, this is the standard process 21-day purification challenge. Week 1 has been amazing. I'm really happy. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week with week 2.